welcome to today's live stream event. Today we have Francine, Jennifer, Harvey, and Devora, who are in Colorado at Snowmass, and it's Miracles on the Mountain. They are at the Winter Sports Clinic. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Before we begin, I want to remind everyone to, from wherever you're watching, to smash the like button and follow, and to let everyone know if you have any questions or comments from wherever you're watching, whether you're on X, YouTube, or Facebook. You just have to put them in the comment section and we will see them in real time. So thanks, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining. So what is Colorado like now?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it doesn't look snowy, though.
No, it's pretty warm. They've actually had to, this is Devora, hi. They've actually had to change up the ski schedule. And it's been kind of crazy from the last couple of years, but you know, the staff here is amazing and they've been able to figure it out and move snow from one side to the other each day to make sure that we actually have snow to ski on. We only have 2 slopes to ski this year. We have an advanced side and then the not so advanced side, so they don't have to worry about trying to get all the trails on the mountain. But they've actually done a lot of work to make sure that we were having a great time here.
So can each of you tell us a little bit about yourself and what sports you're doing while you're in Colorado at Snowmass?
Why don't you go ahead, Jennifer?
Francine, what sports are you doing?
I'm kind of hoarse, so I don't know if you could hear me right. But I've done skiing for the first time, stand-up skiing, Monday. And today I did stand-up skiing again. My instructors have said that I've done remarkably well. First day I went down, I fell 4 times. Second time down the hill, I fell twice. But the last 2 times I went down, I didn't fall at all.
Progress.
Yeah.
Progress.
And today I actually did 5 runs with no falls, and I did a race, and where you had to do, like turns around obstacles, and I was able to make all the turns, and I didn't fall down at all. So
wow!
it's
Congratulations!
It's very exciting. I never thought I would ski, so this is a fabulous moment and week for me. I'm an amputee, and I have some other amputees, and I use adaptations, which the VA has secured for me. So I'm so very thankful that the VA has given me this opportunity to continue living my life.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And Jennifer, what sports are you doing?
I had fly fishing. I'd never been fly fishing before. That was really cool. And I really enjoyed the opportunity to learn how to tie flies. It was very creative, which I thought was, appealed to my creative side. I went skiing yesterday. I did have a little fumble. I did fall and got a little injured on my shoulder. But everything is actually improving significantly. And everyone here has been absolutely amazing, even down to caregivers. I don't have a caregiver with me here right now, but all the other caregivers have been so supportive yesterday when I was really struggling getting around, and the staff is phenomenal, and they do everything they can to even if something happens, to still participate. But the best part of the Winter Sports Clinic is connecting with other veterans and hearing their stories and sharing resources that they might not have been aware of. I have MS and I'm a member of the Paralyzed Veterans of America, and I was able to let them know there were resources that they could find they never heard of before. So, it's great. That's the best part, is the connection.
Nice meeting new friends and all that. Mr. Harvey, what sports are you doing this year? I know you had a whole complement of sports last year. Which ones are you doing this year?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Harvey Gary. I'm visually impaired Air Force veteran. I did alpine skiing um, Monday, and I finished up today up there at the Meadows, and I did the race course. I didn't have any issues because I've been probably skiing the Meadow area for probably the last 3 years since I've came here, so I'm pretty familiar with that area. Yesterday I did fly fishing. Um, I caught one fish, but it was not big enough to even brag or take a picture with. But I did catch a fish. I was kind of glad this year that they had some some cornhole things out there, some disc golf. So I did get to practice some cornhole and disc golf, two of the events I will be competing in at the Golden Age Games. And tomorrow I will be finishing up with the Aspen gondola ride. Once again, like everybody says, I have to give a shout out first to my instructor Claire, that pushed me, that kept adding layers and layers. Each run that we took, she added another layer on top of another layer. And she was like, I know you could do it. It's just a matter of doing it. My team leaders at Team Long Shot, um, always wonderful. I've been on that team for the probably the last 3 years. So I'm, getting to know a lot of the coaches and even the new assistants pretty good. And everybody, it was a success. I definitely want to give them a shout out for um, making it to where there was no snow at the bottom of the mountain, but actually making it a way for all the hard work they did to open up those courses up there at the Elks. So I mean, it was snow. We did ski, snowboard, or whatever particular way that you came out here. So to me, I don't think it was too bad. I kind of liked it. This they also
Nice.
closed the slope down for all the local skiers, so wasn't nobody on the mountain but us veterans enjoying each other.
Nice. So, Devora, what sports are you doing? I know the last time we did your thing from Snowmass in Colorado, you actually showed us the fish that you caught.
Yeah, I actually did the same. I love to do the fly fishing. It's very relaxing for me. So I went ahead and did that on the first day. Skied the second day, which, like Harvey said, I should have had more layers on because the temperature changed dramatically just in just in the couple hours I was up on the top of the mountain. Um, Again, like Francine said, I actually, since this is my second year going back to stand up skiing, I actually impressed my coach enough to where he didn't yell at me the last two runs. So yeah, that was pretty impressive. I've been with the same coach since I've been coming, since what 2013. So like this is my 14th year, and then today I'm at the Glenwood Hot Springs, which is pretty amazing. Um, the cool thing about Glenwood Hot Springs, here's some veterans here too. Say hi. um, that actually other veterans and war injured people used to actually come here in World War II to recover and recuperate in the springs. So we're just, expanding on that history. So it's pretty cool to be here. And then tomorrow I'll ski again and race and try and beat Harvey's time.
So, can each of you talk about the adaptive part of the sports, like how you feel? Francine mentioned that she was an amputee. How VA staff or the staff at the mountain helps you adapt your body to be able to do these things that you thought you'd never be able to do. Who wants to start?
I can start. It was amazing. I got to go to my first prosthetic seating appointment while I was here to determine like the best ski that might work for me and things like that. And that was phenomenal. The prosthetics department that was over there was they were just so wonderful and nice. And I when I started skiing last season, not here but in my home mountain, they I thought I could only do the bi ski, which was super intimidating because I had skied standing up as a teenager. So it was super intimidating to get in the sled and how am I going to control it? And I've really progressed with some great instructors through that program, and even for my short time yesterday, they pick up things that you don't realize you're doing and try to adjust or try to get you more comfortable in the bucket. And I'm skiing a mono ski for the first time, and I'm skiing independently other than on the lift, which is I never could have imagined it. And I will say that the most rewarding thing is I was going up the mountain and I was watching the stand up skiers and I was like, I remember what that feels like from being a teenager. And then at the end of a run, at the end of a day on a mountain, we were able to ski down, intermediate slope. And for a few seconds on that part of the slope, I just totally forgot I was in ski. And that is like the most rewarding moment to forget that you're different in any way from everybody else out there, that you're just like them. You can experience the same thing. And it just takes a little adaptation and creativity in making that work.
Anybody else want to talk about how your help
Yeah,
to, be the sport is to help you adapt to the sport actually?
yeah, I would like to say something. So back at home in Maryland, um, the adaptive sports coaches, Lauren and Josh, they have helped me to prepare my body with weekly activities um, that it did include some skiing. I did some bike skiing, um, but just the physical conditioning of my body that goes on weekly with different activities. But one I like the best is cycling, and I'm going to be doing that here tomorrow. I didn't get a chance to mention that, but with the help and support of the staff back home, it's got me to the point where my body can handle doing all of this physical stuff. And I'm so motivated. And of course, here at the Winter Sport Clinic, I think I had the best um, ski instructors. And they adapted because went up the first day, they thought they was going to be getting the Francine who had visual impairments and who was going to do monoski. And I said, "Wait, that's not me." I said, "I want to do stand up skiing, and I could see perfectly well." So they adapted because they had other equipment out to deal with someone that they thought was different disabilities than what I had. So, and then not just my instructors, but all of the support people, support staff that were there helping during the skiing for the first time. It was just a remarkable feeling for me because I never dreamed that I would be skiing like that. And there I was. So I just think it's a great program here at the clinics and then back home where they get us ready to participate in not just clinics, but in our daily life activities that include sports. Like y'all say, movement is medicine. That's the honest to God truth.
And Devora, how about you?
Um, I was kind of apprehensive this year because I injured my knee and I didn't want to go back to sit skiing. And so I went to prosthetics like Jennifer, and they actually had everything ready. So there's different types of things. Of course, we know that when you're on the mountain, you see those little tiny kids just skiing down the mountain with no poles or anything. You're like, how do you do that, right? So that's one adaptation. And then they'll give you poles. Then there's like an opportunity for me is like if my knee wasn't holding up, they had basically poles with little skis on them as another option. Another option is a slider, which looks like a walker with skis on the bottom of that. So they were very ready and adaptable, like Francine said. And if it was bad enough where I had to go back to a sit ski, they already had that set up and ready for me and available. So it doesn't matter what your, I'm not going to say disability because we don't have any of those. What our ability is,
Right.
they're right on top of it, and they're going to help us to achieve whatever we want with whatever modality they need to use to make that happen. So it's pretty much in every sport too. The same at fishing. Um, my coach taught me a different way to cast. Yesterday, Monday. I don't even know what day it is. I'm having so much fun. Um, totally different way to cast if you only have one hand. You know, if you're an amputee or stroke patient or whatever it may be. So it's very, very interesting to see all the different ways that they can make sure that you can participate in whatever you set your mind to.
So let's talk about all the other veterans who are there. How many other veterans from across the country are there participating in the winter clinic? And have you met friends that you've met in years past? Have you reconnected?
There's 300 plus here. And then, like with the volunteers and staff, we're probably looking at close to 600. Um, and like Harvey said earlier, they pretty much closed the entire mountain down just for us, which was amazing. But then the weather kind of was a player in that too. Um, for myself, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people that I see in the previous years. Unfortunately, I don't always remember them by their names, but I do remember their faces. So that's been good, and like you get to like catch up where you left off, a year ago. And what's so amazing to me about that, I think it was like Jennifer said, is connecting with other people. Is that you have that camaraderie of just all being military. Doesn't matter what branch you were in. Go Navy, beat Army. But we're all brothers and sisters, and it doesn't matter when you get here. It doesn't matter what your ability is. You just connect with everybody, and you're just one big family. So it's just really awesome to come back each year and see those people and reconnect and meet new people as well.
So, how do what do you want other veterans who are watching to know about doing something like this? Like, what do you, especially veterans who might be struggling or have amputations or not, low vision. What do you want them to know about getting up and doing something like this?
I would say you need to take the word I can't out of your vocabulary because you just need to find the right way. I struggle with this with a lot of our MS veterans who have mobility issues and they are very resistant to a wheelchair. And I'm like, but if the wheelchair lets you play pickleball and get you out of the house and let you connect with other people, what's the harm in sitting in a wheelchair for a couple hours? You don't have to live in it. If it's a tool in your toolbox. So find these tools, these adaptations, and you can pretty much make anything adaptable. You just got to think outside the box and, try it once. No one says you have to fall in love with it on the first time, but you probably will.
So, how can veterans get involved with these programs? Like, there's, Harvey mentioned Golden Age games. There's the winter clinics. There's the summer games. There's the summer clinics. What
There's, there's a
can they
golf clinic
do?
too.
Say that again.
There's a golf clinic too.
Oh, there's a golf clinic.
Yeah.
Didn't even know
So
that.
So what they can do is they can go to va.gov and go to adaptive sports, and it'll bring up all the different programs that are available. Like you guys mentioned, there's the wheelchair games. There's the golden age game, so you have to be a little bit older. And there's the winter sports clinic, the summer sports clinic, and the golf clinic. And all of those are available to veterans that qualify. There are different qualifications for each clinic. So you would need to look at that in that particular web page. Once you've done that, you'd look at when the application process starts. Go ahead and download the application, get your physical from your doctor, and turn it in within the deadline. And God willing, you're one of those many people that get accepted, and off you go to one of the clinics.
And I'll add to that too. The VA's rec therapy program is phenomenal. It's such an amazing opportunity, and the best way to get into your rec therapy program is to ask for a referral from your primary care or your mental health provider at the VA, because we have some of the most amazing rec therapists. And I'm telling you, Lauren, our rec therapist in Maryland, she is like top notch, phenomenal. She will fight for her veterans to help
Yeah,
them achieve the goals that they want to achieve and get the equipment that they need to get. And like that's where it starts. You gotta ask for a referral. People are like, I don't know what rec therapy is. I'm like, well, just ask your primary care, your mental health provider for a referral to rec therapy, and then go check it out. There's so many opportunities, and all the VAs are a little bit different in what they offer. So there's just lots of opportunities to try new things.
So,
Yeah,
and
and
I understand that a lot of the training for the Maryland team is done at Perry Point. Do you want to talk about what the training? Harvey was talking about how his body was kind of uh, prepared to be, uh, participating. So, talk a little bit about what that training consists of. It doesn't sound like they just send you off to the winter clinic and say, have fun. So, can you talk about that process?
I can talk about it a little bit. So, there's like a month, actually, like a not just monthly, but a quarterly schedule of all of the um, exercise, not exercises, but different workouts that you can sign up for at Perry Point. There's also uh, swimming is also another one of the adaptive events. I'm not a swimmer though, but so this quarterly calendar comes out for the Perry Point, and all you have to do is to, you know, sign up for the um, different. I'm sorry I can't talk so well,
Oh, that's okay.
but
the
you
different
sign up.
opportunities that are given.
There you
Yeah.
go, Devorah, because they can't
Yeah,
hear me.
and what's even cool is like um, I'm more in Baltimore. I'm not in Perry Point, so it makes it harder for me to get up there. And I travel a lot, so you know I check in with Lauren. I can talk to her about specific training plans for swimming or whatever sport it is, and then there's a log that I can keep track of my log and send it into her, so that I am actually showing that I am physically doing something and not isolating and sitting on the couch and doing those things we don't want to do, but we do, unfortunately. So we got to get off that couch. And I have to back up. I'm sorry. I just got to do this. Got to back up what Jennifer said about the, the Maryland rec therapy. When I came to Maryland many, many years ago, I was told, oh no, you got to go to Washington, D.C. You got to go to that VA. I was like, why? It's in another state. It's not Maryland. I'm here in Maryland. And I'm just so grateful Lauren and Josh came on board, and they have literally taken that program in 3 years and turned it 180, and it's probably made it one of the best programs in the nation. So
That's true.
accolades. Accolades for sure.
I think one of the things that and I'm just going to speak on the stand up spectrum in the visually impaired spectrum. Stand up skiing is about balance, technique, and relaxation. So when rec therapy offer the yoga, the tai chi, and those other programs, and even if they have an open gym or whatever where you can strengthen up your core, those type of things definitely help you with whatever type of skiing that you're doing. Because like sometimes, you know, our local ski course, where they go whitetail,
Yep.
that's one thing, but Aspen's another. So a blue run at whitetail is way shorter than a blue or green run up here in Aspen. So, and that's when the breathing and the relaxation, comes into play because, you could be, skiing along and next thing you know, you, you hit like a little valley. Then when you come over that valley, your speed is going to increase. So you definitely have to, communicate with your instructor where it is. And then when you hit it, if you freeze up, spaz out, hesitate, you're going to end up on the ground. So, those, you know, um, stretching and relaxation program is definitely helping. And also want to add on the visually, if anybody that's visually impaired, because I have a lot of people say, if you can't see anything, how can you ski? And one thing that I always tell people is, um, you and your instructors, your guys, if you have one guide or if you have two guys, then that's your opportunity to just sit down and work on your communication because they're your eyes and ears. You want them to be in a position to where their instructions are clear and concise because you're not the only one on the mountain. And we know whatever disability you are, and rule number one is the downhill skier has the right of way. So you can't say, well, I can't see and just go straight and run into other skiers or whatever and say, well, I couldn't see him. It doesn't work that way. So that's when the more verbal communication I tell my instructors you give me, the better off that I can. So all of those in a nutshell help me um, with my skiing. Also, just another thing real quick, because I know there's some people that you talk to about adaptive sports and they just say, oh, well, that's just you. I just heard it from you. I haven't heard it from anybody else. And that's when I will um, say, hey, look, the VA, Adaptive Sports, has a ton of testimonies and ton of videos on YouTube. So it's like, you don't have to believe me. Go research it for yourself and see that whatever your situation is or whatever you think your situation is, you think that you're the only one that has that situation and can't overcome it. When you hear from other veterans in similar situations, and even veterans that you don't know from other states, other counties, talk about that, then that's also a confidence booster.
I totally agree with you. And I wanted to add too that the rec therapy department is an amazing department. The rec therapists, they know about other adaptive programs. I do not live close to a big VA center that has a rec therapy center, with in an easy traveling distance. Everything is 2 to 3 hours away, one way. So the rec therapy program can hook you up with other organizations in your area that offer adaptive programs. Like where I live, we have Two Top Mountain Adaptive sports that does cycling, whitewater rafting, water skiing, and the snow skiing. And so, like, I also found a program locally that would do adaptive pickleball. So that resource can connect you. Don't think, oh, I can't make it into the VA all the time. Well, there are other opportunities. There are things that you can do online, like cycling in your house, even, and connecting online. There's lots of programs. So you just gotta tell them what kind of things you might be interested in, and next thing you know, it's going to be snowballing into something else, and they will connect you with the place that you might be able to get that, make that happen for you, even if it's not in your local VA.
That's a really good point because a lot of people don't realize that VA can help them connect to their local organizations so that there's no excuse to sit home on the sofa, no matter what your ability is. Are there any
Amen.
final words that each of you want to say to your fellow veterans about movement is magic and being at Snowmass? Excuse me, movement is magic and being at Snowmass.
I will say, like I I got hurt today and or well yesterday, and I'm doing better, and that's great. But a friend of mine gave me a hard time and said, like I can't ski because I don't want to get hurt like that. And then not even 5 seconds later, he's telling me, "Oh my gosh, I fell out getting out of my car and I hit my head and I injured my shoulder." And I was like, "Well, at least I did mine doing something fun."
Right.
So, Mr. Jose Flores is also adding in. I know that he's going to be going to the Golden Age Games soon, and he's saying that's correct to Jennifer. He said, "Get out there and live your best life." Thank you, Jose. Thank you for adding into us, for adding in. All right. So, on those very wise words from Mr. Jose Flores, who's one of our viewers and also a participant in the Golden Age Games, which is upcoming, thank you very much for joining us today, all the way from Colorado. And I hope you can continue to show fellow veterans that movement is magic, and there's a lot of magic happening on that mountain. Thanks for joining. And veterans, if you're out there and you want to get involved with adaptive sports, please reach out to your local therapy department at your VA. But also, if you are here in Maryland, reach out to Lauren Buckingham. I did put the email in the comments from wherever you're watching, either YouTube or Facebook or X. And we'll go from there. Thank you very much for the team to join us today. I'm so sorry. And Mr. Jose has another one. All right. So we will see you when you come back. I understand that there's going to be a magazine that wants to shoot some of the veterans who are going to be training at Perry Point because they saw you on the mountain. So we're going to come home and hopefully you'll be able to deal with that at the end of the month. Thanks for joining. Ciao.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
All right.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.